Just because dementia residents can't remember, it doesn't mean that they can't think, understand or intuit. And this needs to be recognised and realised by relatives when they make the decision to tell lies or even white lies to dementia residents. Because unanimously, dementia residents themselves would rather, they say, be told the truth. Because if they're not told the truth, then they can't, recognise reality. They can't know what reality is. It's totally and utterly confusing. So to them, they always say they'd rather know the truth than anything else. So this really is important. This is an important aspect which I'm going to be discussing in this video about whether we should tell the truth or not to dementia residents. Okay, so take one example of a daughter and her mother. So she's visiting regularly, her mother's quite dependent, the family's very supportive, and the typical thing in terms of, especially when the resident has just come to the dementia facility, is, oh dear, when are you going to come again? Don't leave me, I can't stand it here, I don't want you to go, stay with me. All this sort of pleading and bargaining process goes on. And, it can be very heart-wrenching, for a dedicated, loving daughter, or any daughter, for that matter. And it does need to be dealt with, back to the basics. So when your mother is distressed and she's pleading with you when you're going to come again and whether you're going to tell the white lie of, oh, I'm just going shopping, mum, and I'll be right back, thinking, oh, well, she won't remember, so, it's okay. But she might not remember, but she can certainly still feel the pain and anguish and the, ratting at the doors or the, thumping at the doors for the next week and disturbing everyone in the unit because of it, because she's so bereft and feeling so abandoned is not, it's not a solution. It might be a quick fix at the time, but long-term solution it isn't. So if your mother is in this state, which many mothers are, especially when they first come into a dementia unit, that's why everything has to be put in place, doesn't it, Okay, so the first thing really is communication, communication, because it's communication and support that builds up the trust, isn't it? And the trust has to be established. And if lies are being told, trust will be fractured. That's just the way it is, I mean, you can't tell lies and still have trust. Even with, and especially with dementia residents, actually, because they do have an antenna for the truth. They've got good intuition. I've observed this many times, because they're able to pick up on the tone of your voice because they're so used to being lied to. People with dementia are so used to being lied to because people lie so often to them, thinking, oh, well, they won't remember, so it doesn't matter. So they can pick up on the tone of the voice, the timbre. So when the pitch goes up, the sincerity goes down, the speed might increase, there might be a slight wave, all the things that go with lying. Yeah, the person with dementia will pick that up pretty quickly. And, if you've lied to them, it's very difficult, to get that trust back. And unfortunately, what can often happen is that if you've lied to them, then the trust is fractured when they pick that up. And then, of course, they start thinking that everyone else is lying to them, even the ones that aren't lying to them. So it becomes a quickly expanding, exponential scenario, which is really difficult to get the person out of. So it is much better to tell the truth. Time consuming at the start, but by far the better way. So for example, if your mother's distressed and demanding that, you're with her practically 24/7 and she doesn't want to be left alone and you just need to sit down straight up from the start and say, look, Mum, we're just going to sit down and have a little conversation about this and be realistic about the situation. Oh, yes, dear, yes, I know we have to be realistic and, sit down and say, look, Mum, before you came into this, you can say nursing home instead of dementia unit, it's less jarring. Before you came into this nursing home, How often was I visiting you? Chances are she won't remember, but she might say, well, I can't remember, dear. Okay, so you say, look, before you came into this nursing home, I was visiting you every second day, you know? Now that you're in this nursing home, I'm continuing to visit you every second day. Nothing has changed. I'm supporting you and visiting you as much as I was before you came into the unit, and now that you are at the unit. Oh yes, dear. Okay. So the thing is, Mum, we're all making an effort. You know, we're all making an effort. You know, we know it's not easy, and it is demanding and difficult. You know, living in a different place with different people. It's always difficult, especially when you're older, and we really appreciate that. And because of that, sometimes I'm coming to visit you more. Sometimes I am coming to visit you daily, especially while you're new here, for you to be able to get used to the place. Yes, I know, dear. Yes, you've been very good. You know, okay, I understand that you're doing more than what, you're doing a lot. And it's like, yes, but the thing is, we all have to make an effort in this life. We all have to work as a bit of a team. You know that with all the sporting, with all the boys playing rugby, it was always about the team, wasn't it? Yes, dear, I know we have to work together. Well, the thing is, I'm doing as much as I can. The rest of the family's coming to visit as much as they can. But there is a limit, like I'm having to work, 3 days a week, and there's only so much I can do. So that's why, there's not much more else that we can do, and that's why I need to explain this to you so that you can accept this. Oh yes, dear, I mustn't be so demanding, and and it's not that you to feel guilty or anything, Mum, but it's just the reality of things as they are now. We've discussed it, haven't we, about the memory problems and the difficulty with the memory problems, and yes, I know, dear, and remember, getting lost and all those sorts of things. You can't stay at home when you're going out and getting lost, because now that my dad's gone, he's not there to help you. I know, dear. So I put the whiteboard there, and every second day when I'm coming, I put my name there when I'm coming, what we're doing, so it's all there. Oh yes, I do like that. I like that whiteboard and everything on it, and I read it, and all the nurses help me on that, read that, so I know when you're coming. So, Mum, we've been through this quite a lot before, and I don't mind sitting down and explaining it to you, but, just try. You have to try as well. We all have to try with this. We all have to, discipline ourselves to sort of be practical about this, rather than too emotional. Yes, I know, dear. I have to just calm down and not bang at the door like I was. That's not good at all for anybody. It's very disturbing, I know, for other people. Yes, that's right, Mum. It's really important not to bang on the door at any time, no matter how you're feeling. It's just not good. You've never been like that. And you just need to discipline yourself and make an effort to be good, be good, do good, and all that stuff. Yes, I must get back to that. I don't mind talking about this again if you forget, but I do want you to make an effort. I want you to make an effort. When I go today, I'm going to be coming in 2 days' time. It's on the whiteboard. I'll come. I'm there to support you. I've always supported you. You're not abandoned. Oh, I know, dear. I don't know why I feel that feeling. It's all these lots of other people here are like that, banging on the door. And I just thought, well, if I bang on the door, it's not such a bad thing when everyone else is banging on the... It is such a bad thing. Well, actually, it is such a bad thing. Some of those people banging on the door have no relatives, no support, no anything. When you have a lot of support, that's why you, of anyone here, can actually, discipline yourself not to do that, and know that everything is okay and that we're here to support. Yes, dear. Okay, look, I'll try. Look, I'll do that. I'm sure I'll do that, I'm sure I will do that. I will do that. I will try my very best. Good, Mum. Fantastic. Congratulations. And onwards and upwards, as Dad would have said, yes, onwards and upwards. Good. Okay, so that's it for today. Just to remind you that I've got a website, www.pietavalentine.com, where the 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, all about these positive practical techniques. are in the description below, the website there. If you go to that, it has, you know, extracts from the books and the background to everything that you might be interested to look at. So thank you for your likes.